It's just a figure of speech to say I get the feeling or the experience that people don't want to get along with me and give me trouble. The animals get along with me. Ah, there. You got that twig in the way of your face. Okay, as I was saying, well, when I don't resonate with the people and they come and give me so much trouble, that's the same day I'm getting along with all of you, that you feel accepting of me. I went to plant some grapes. I put the water, the grapes and the seeds down by the water, where hopefully they'll grow next year. And suddenly, a woodpecker, 3 robins, and a blue jay showed up to come get a drink next to me, to hang out and say hi. They did. Now for you, it's different, because I've got this little catch here, and you found it a good hiding spot, and then I woke you up. I'm sorry about that. Now if I can hold this still and get a nice picture. What's that? I do not know that sound. I wish I brought my video camera, because that little experience with those animals all at one time was pretty rare. And that sound that I wasn't able to identify at first. I went hiking back up here a little bit, up on top of the cliff, and spied a couple of fawns tiptoeing away. So for the first time I got to hear a couple of their little barks. As fawns, they got the higher pitched voice, so they more resemble the tone of a turkey, but had that little bark like a fox, like fox pups. I collected some fox grapes from the west side of town, down on the south side, and we're spreading those around for seeds. There's a seasonal pond in this area that, for this month of September being drought stricken again, the ground's a little muddy, no real water, barely anything that the birds and mice can get to. So I threw a lot of those fox grapes around to hopefully get them to grow and just be a better part of the ecosystem, build up the banks, transfer the water from deep in the mud to the birds for when they eat them. Stuff like that. There's a lot of benefits. And the fox grapes are, to the best of my knowledge, native to these areas. I do find them growing next to the creek. If you're going to be off-road, minimal damage. Preferably no damage. There's my ride. If I turn the camera right. The brightness on this screen used to be a lot better, but it's really worn out. This is so much more like home for me. I need land of my own, or a really good conservation job. A good paying conservation job. Not all volunteering for all that stuff. Can't afford the travel. Can't afford the housing. So I was planting the fox grapes, and it was just a trickle of water going through the ravine, so I tried to rinse my fingers off doing that, and a few birds began flying up. There was a red-breasted woodpecker on probably adolescent. He was pretty small. So he was on the far side of this dead cottonwood tree that had drowned in that spot when the seasonal pond was filled up. So he's on the back side of the bark of that tree, starts about 10 feet up, takes a few peeks at me, hops down a little bit, takes another peek, pretty much just playing peekaboo. Went down to ground level, checked me out for a while. A few robins flew up. They flew nearby to get a drink. I'd say it was about 10-15 feet away. Looked at me funny. I whistled at them, they whistled at me. I used my disposition and body movements, the way I do and don't look at them, to express myself, to let them know that I was not hostile, and they accepted me. Woodpecker still checking me out. Then a couple of blue jays fly through. They didn't stay very long. It was really nice that they all showed up all at one time. Then I went farther up the cliffside, and I got a tiny little cache of supplies there for planting, digging up rocks and stuff like that. A couple of bottles of water. I had it covered with dead chunks of bark off of the dead cottonwood tree. And there was a rabbit hanging out underneath. Well, the rabbit comes out, looks at me, is posed to run. I use my expressions and disposition again. And he or she calmed down and hung out with me for a full 15 minutes. I was the first one to go. He was only 10 feet away. I've got some of that on the video, though it was hard to see my camera screen, so it was hard to focus in on that camouflaged bush bunny. But I made a friend. I also make the promise, even though I'm a hunter and gatherer, if they don't see me as an enemy, I don't hunt them. If they are in the area that I live in or visit, I don't visit this area for hunting. I visit it for photography and conservation work. And I don't hunt them. If they fear me, if they are treating each other bad, if they're more on the wild side, aggressive side, fearful side, then I'll hunt. But just if I need to. Well, it's a tough spot to be in. Most people are worse. So then I feel bad about having my blood type to be a meat eater. Well, I'll wrap this up. I've been meaning to make another nature video, and I haven't really gotten around to it. Today it was more nature's rain check with me. That was a good thing. Conserve, plant native species, spread them around, make a few burrows and places for animals to nest. Feels good when you get an opportunity for housing, doesn't it? Make them happy. Nature doesn't trash its own place. Isn't that beautiful? Until I get the opportunity again, this is the Time Sage signing off. Thanks for watching. And respond for once.